Hold on, I'm closing some shit out. Go. Share the video around. Give me a couple of minutes. What's going on? Let me share the video around. Let everybody know we're live. There's a lot going on. So the topics are going to be, we got to talk about what's next for Lomachenko, because a lot of people pissed off. They already saying he's going to duck Rigondeaux. We're going to talk about it like adults, and we're going to try to, okay, open a new window. Hold on, I'm moving some stuff around in the background. You know, and we're going to handle this like responsible adults, and we're going to talk about it. Because no T Street is not out here trying to make excuses for Bob Arum. No T Street's not out here, you know, trying to always, you know, keep the dark-skinned fighters, black or Cuban, down. Like, where do people get this nonsense? So we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to debate about it. You know, we're going to talk about why the fight needs to happen, how it can happen, and if it can happen, which is the most important details. Can the fight happen? Yes, it can happen, but what has to be done for this fight to happen? You know? So we're going to talk about all that. You know, we're going to try to be here for 90 minutes. A lot going on. Mayweather McGregor's 20 days away. You know, and I'm getting cold feet. But however, I got a surprise for you guys. You know, we got a surprise for you guys. So, you know, we're getting to Vegas. We're getting to Vegas for about 10 days or so. So let me share the video around. Oh, T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. What is it? Over on the West Coast is 10 a.m. Over here on the East Coast is 1 p.m. It's a good, you know, time to do like a live stream to, you know, talk about what went down last night, you know, and what's the next fights coming up, and basically the boxing news and shit. We'll control Amir Khan a little bit more about the Anthony Joshua situation. So that's live, right? You know, we like to have fun around here, man. Don't be a prude. We like to have fun. All right, so I'm multitasking. Give me a minute. I'm multitasking. All right, so let me move the chat over, right? So it's like this, right? You got Guillermo Rigondeaux, who is promoted by Rock Nation. There's been talks that Rock Nation are on their way out of boxing. Have you noticed Rock Nation hasn't been putting on any cards? Hasn't been like, you ain't even hearing about them signing any fighters, getting any network deals. So it looks like their venture into boxing, you know, their plans into boxing didn't work out the way they wanted it to work out. So you got that promoter situation. Can Rock Nation and Bob Arum work together? After all, Rigondeaux really doesn't have any choice. We're going to go look at Rigondeaux's last opponents, you know, the belt, the title situation, and how the fight can happen. So it's like this. No matter how you want to slice it, Lomachenko is the A side. But will he take short money to compensate Rigondeaux enough that Rigondeaux would take the fight? How much did Rigondeaux make his last fight? Does anyone know? It's out there. I forgot. They put it out there when we found out how much Ward made, and we found out that Kovalev got paid off a commission. How much did he make to fight Miguel Flores? You know, I'm trying to multitask, so I can't pull it up right now. So you have to think, if it's a situation, right? We seen Mikey Garcia and Adrien Broner both split network money, because it's hard to get two A-side fighters to fight on like HBO or, damn, I'm fucking shit up, on HBO or or Showtime without the undercard, you know, money being short. So basically, in the ESPN situation, can they get Rigondeaux 500K and maybe Lomachenko 600 or 700? I don't know. It would have been interesting to see how much Lomachenko would have got paid if he would have fought Orlando Saildo, because Orlando Saildo was offered $750,000 and he turned it down for that fight that was supposed to come on last night. So how much was Lomachenko going to make, and how much is ESPN paying or matching Top Rank with as far as in regards to who's paying for these fights? Now remember, they had Pacquiao making $10 million+ on ESPN. Where'd that money come from? So it's hard for me to believe that the money wouldn't be there for Rigondeaux to be happy and Lomachenko to be happy on ESPN. What network is in the way? Rigondeaux has a shaky, you know, relationship with HBO. Well, he did with the old president, Ken Hirschman. We don't know how the new guy, what's his name? Yeah, I met him, Peter Nelson, you know, feels about Rigondeaux. Or as they call him, Rigondeaux. Where the fuck this shit come from now? Rigondeaux. No, don't try to change up on us after all these years, Max. It's Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux. Where'd you get this from? I think Loma made $750K. Last night, he made $750K and his opponent $500K. I mean, $50K. But imagine, like, what if it was Saildo? And yes, Saildo would be the A side over Lomachenko. But how much would have Lomachenko made if Saildo was supposed to make, you know, $750K? Now remember, the reason why, if you don't know, go look it up. There's a lot of misinformation out there. The reason why they went with Marriaga is because they were really in deep negotiations with Orlando Saildo, from what we've heard. Orlando Saildo, rumored, this is not confirmed, thought he was going to get bigger money to fight Tank Davis on the Mayweather McGregor undercard. That was not true. I don't know how he thought he was going to get that much on the Mayweather McGregor undercard. So now he's out of money for both fights. Gervonta Davis is fighting Roman Rocky Martinez. So, you know, it makes you wonder, like, well, ESPN and did this ESPN and Top Rank thing, it's not like ESPN Friday Night Fights. Yes, they're still using Joe Tessitore, you know, and Teddy Atlas, and now they even know, obviously, Timothy Bradley retired. We're going to talk about that later on. You know, you have to think that, you know, there's some real money behind this. The budget is bigger. Don't forget, Pacquiao versus Horn was world news. This was the second inaugural show of basically a brand new ESPN boxing, bringing mainstream boxing. They already brought you Manny Pacquiao. Jeff Horn was made a star on ESPN, like it or not. Now they're bringing you Lomachenko. This was supposed to be Lomachenko Saildo too. So imagine if they pulled that off. That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy, you know? So what was I doing, man? Y'all distracted me, man. Y'all distracted me, man. So yeah, we're gonna get deep into shit, pause. You know, we got a lot of things to talk about. Things are really, really moving forward. You know, I'm really, really, you know, you guys gotta hold me to it. Consistency is the key. You guys gotta hold me to it. Consistency is the key. So far, we've been doing good. We put out what, 10 videos or so yesterday. You know, I've got so much Mayweather McGregor content that I've been sitting on for weeks. So much fighter content, period. Wait till you see this shit that I thought I lost of Hank Lundy talking all this shit about Adrien Broner. I would love to see Adrien Broner versus Hank Lundy now. You know, that makes perfect sense to me. You know, so let me not get sidetracked. Okay, so let me not get sidetracked, man. Y'all need to leave me alone. Shut up. I'm sick of y'all. All right. So yeah, where was we at? So listen, I think like this, right? The money is there, from my understanding, for Rigondeaux to be happy. What is the most Rigondeaux has ever made per fight? If they can find 500,000 and Rigondeaux don't talk some old $1 million shit, even though to us hardcore fans, that's a $1 million fight. We would love to see Rigondeaux make that much money. But truth be told, casual fans, he just can't appeal to them, you know? Let me tell you what Rigondeaux is. Let's talk about cultural dishes, right? Chitlins. Southern folk, man, when I was a kid, my grandma used to feed me that. No more. No more. But down the South, he's an acquired taste. Now, I'm not saying that he's table scraps. I'm not saying that he's the master scraps. It's just that for the people who love him, they love him. You see what I'm saying? They put all this hot sauce on him and vinegar and dress him all up, but he's still a chitlin. He just doesn't appeal. He just doesn't appeal to the mainstream. He just doesn't appeal to the mainstream. He just doesn't appeal. But to them hardcore food fanatics, don't you know, like over in other cultures, a chitlin's not a chitlin. It'll be like some fine delicacy that they spread on some cracker or some shit, right? Right? You know, but to the slave folk, it's master scrap food. But somewhere over in Greece, I don't think it's gonna happen, man. And then remember when Bob Arum cursed Rigondeaux out? He was like, what'd he say? He's like, the son of a bitch just doesn't fight. Or some shit. What was that after the Joseph Abeko fight? When you was literally seeing on HBO, on an HBO telecast, right? People were getting up and leaving. So you had all these empty seats on an HBO telecast. You know how HBO must have felt? Empty seats in the front rows of an HBO telecast? People getting up like, fuck this shit. We out. What the fuck is this shit? And you know, when you watch a Rigondeaux fight, now he has been more exciting as of late. But he's left such a bad taste in people's mouth from the past. Remember, if you haven't, go watch his fight against Hisashi Amagasa when he broke dude's jaw. A dude just was walking around at the end of the fight, just like, they was reading the cards or whatever they was doing, and he just placed it back and forth, big ass fucking not on his jaw, just like people like, yo, you need to tell. He like, no. What was the dude that he knocked out that he made Starfish? He knocked the dude out. He just was like laid out. Rigondeaux last fight, he didn't look great. I mean, you got to think, right? I feel, in my personal opinion, Lomachenko should be the favorite. But also you have to wonder, like, well, what about the weight? What's the weight situation going to be? Remember, you got to talk about that. Rigondeaux is, Rigondeaux's a small dude. There's so much that has to happen for this fight to take place. So much. But I say they got to give it a try, man. They got to give it a try. Rigondeaux needs this more than Lomachenko does. But the only thing about Lomachenko is his options are limited. Orlando Saildo, okay, all right. They can go back to Orlando Saildo and say, okay, well, now, listen, do you want this fight now? And offer him shorter money. You see what I'm saying? They offered him $750K, allegedly, as they've been saying. They already put it out there in the media. They wouldn't lie about that shit. They offered him $750K, he turned it down. What if they go to him now and say, hey, listen, bro, you dicked us over the first time. We made a good deal to you. Now take this $500K. So that's the safe route for Lomachenko to go for his team to try to open up or make another attempt at Orlando Saildo to get that loss back. And also, it is somewhat appease all fans, The risky fight to make is as far as politics is concerned, is the Mikey Garcia fight. Mikey Garcia had a bad relationship with Top Rank, a bad split. Didn't he sue them? Yeah, he did sue them. I forgot what the outcome was. But basically, he's now fighting on Heyman cards. We don't know if he's with Richard Schaefer or Al Heyman, and I fucked up and dropped the ball when I had the chance to ask him the question, and I fucked up. I asked some old dumb shit, didn't I? This was at the post-fight press conference. I forgot. Listen, I dropped the ball. People want to know, it's like you've been fighting on Heyman cards, Yet, you know, you was fighting on Ringstar cards when you first started fighting over on PBC, but now you're fighting on Heyman cards and you're saying fighters got to come over to Showtime. So with the Mikey Garcia fight, will it be one of them situations where ESPN is invested in Lomachenko? So they'd be like, damn, you're going to take him over to Showtime now? Would it be one of those situations where the networks would get involved? So that fight would be difficult, you know, to make. These promoters and these networks got to pull their hair out their asses. Also, I don't like when fighters sign network deals. I don't think fighters should be assigned to be able to sign network deals. It's not like the UFC where they control all fighters. We have so many situations happening in boxing. Well, man, I can't fight him because he's on that network and my promoters is aligned with this network. That's some bullshit. Not like that crap. You know? But anyway, Saildo need to earn more than Loma. You want to avenge your own loss. That's true. That's true. But how much should Rigondeaux get paid, man? You know, they got to compensate him for a big fight like this. For us hardcore fans, we're going to be staying there. At least we should. But then knowing you guys, y'all ain't shit anyway. Y'all, you supposed hardcore fans didn't buy Ward Kovalev, too. So y'all ain't shit. So y'all talk all that shit about, well, this fighter needs to be A-side and B-side. Y'all don't buy the fights. Half of you scumbags don't even have ESPN. I'm sorry to rant on you, but if you don't buy Canelo versus Golovkin, there's a special place in hell for you. There's a special place in hell for your soul. Support the sport. Support the sport. So what's next on our list, man? What's next on our list? Let's go look at some rankings, right? Let's go look at some rankings. Boxing rankings. Oh man. Let's go look at some rankings. I wish my website editor gets on his fucking shit so we can have our rankings updated so I can stop looking at other people's shit. Not you, Mikey. You're cool, bro. What were we looking at? Look at that. Right here. So, obviously, if you guys don't know, when you're a champion, you have to fight somebody in the top 15. Will Orlando Saildo beat Vasyl Lomachenko is mandatory anyway. What's going to happen with that? You know? IBF champion is Gervonta Davis. He's fighting Roman Rocky Martinez. I'm trying to figure out if Roman Rocky Martinez is going to be added to the rankings. Have the rankings been updated for August yet for the IBF? I don't think so. Let's go take. Let's go take a look. And usually the rankings for all the websites, I mean, for the WBO, for the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO, they're not all updated on one day. Like, it's no set day that they're updated. They'll be updated on some shit like one to be on like the 11th, one to be on the 3rd. The other one may be not updated until the 21st of each month. So basically what I'm looking for is to see if the new rankings updated as Tuesday, August the 1st. So you see this? These are the new rankings for this month. So let's see if Roman Rocky Martinez is ranked for Gervonta Davis. Yeah, bam. He wasn't. Now listen. This is how boxing worked for you, yo. Now you see how he's ranked. These rankings came out on the 1st. Now, once I heard this was that the news was released that Broner versus Garcia, that Tank Davis was going to be fighting Roman Rocky Martinez. After that press conference, the PBC president, vice president Tim Smith had said it. So I said, wait a minute, Rocky Martinez is not ranked, and I said, oh, it's the end of the month. Let's see if Roman Rocky Martinez end up in the IBF rankings before the end of the month. Now, look, these are the new rankings, but this website hasn't updated their rankings yet to let me see. Uploaded their rankings yet because they still have July up. And if you see at 130 pounds, Roman Rocky Martinez is not ranked. You see how they be pulling slick shit? That's why you got to know your rankings, man. That's why you got to know your rankings, man. So now, you know that Gervonta Davis is going to be fighting Roman Rocky Martinez on the undercard of Mayweather versus McGregor. You got Jezreel Corrales. I forgot who he just fought. He fought on the Barrera Smith card, and I fell asleep on. I'm sorry, man. Sometimes, man, I fall asleep on fights. Sometimes I watch so many. He's a Golden Boy fighter, Miguel Berchek. We really don't know who he's with right now, you know, but he's been fighting on Golden Boy cards, and Golden Boy and Top Rank have been in some beef for like a year or so now. You know, over a year now. You know, so I'm wondering, can Lomachenko versus Berchuk happen for a unification? So what are his options at 130 pounds before we start looking at other divisions? He has to either A, fight somebody in the top 15, and if I'm correct, Miguel Marriaga was here only because of his good fight in the lower weight division against Oscar Valdez, in which he lost. But remember, hey, like I said earlier in the video, he was like a late replacement because Orlando Salido, whatever the case may be. So if you look at these names, my God, who are these people? Now, I may have seen these people fight before because, like in my business, what I have to do is I have to watch all of these cards, all of these undercards, and even if the sound is off and I'm doing other shit in the background, it still has to be on. So when I be seeing these motherfuckers, I be knowing who they are. Like, oh shit, I seen you fight before. But I don't know who these people are to explain to them outside of, Tevin Farmer, Rodriguez, Jose Lopez. I've heard about this Kenichi Ogawa guy. There's always this Japanese guy like, hey, T Street, did you watch that fight? Just, it's like, yo, it'll be early and shit, or like late at night when he be messaging me. I'm like, yo, it's the fucking time difference, bro. And no, I have a hard time watching those fights. But anyway, you hear about a lot of these guys, but really, if Lomachenko fought any of these guys, he's going to get shit. So if you look at it, what other options are there at 130 pounds, that we talked about? Now, would Carl Frampton, who's been hinting, at 130 pounds, who's also had issue. Well, he didn't make weight before his fight was, canceled on some old crazy shit when his opponent, broke his fucking face slipping in the shower, so they say. So you still have that 126-pound division that some guys want to move up. And remember, Al Heyman has been getting risky with his fighters. And also when that Al Heyman and Top Rank lawsuit was going on, there was a confidentiality agreement where basically, if you notice, Top Rank fighters and Al Heyman fighters been fighting each other now. Did you notice that? Remember, we thought it was going to be some political mumbo jumbo with Felix Diaz versus Terrence Crawford. That happened. And also, it's a bigger platform, and it's. I don't want to get too deep into that whole Al Heyman Bob Arum lawsuit thing. But long story short, there's no issue with Top Rank fighters and Al Heyman fighters fighting. So what if we get thrown for like that type of curveball? Because you got to think that they're in touch to know that Lomachenko is getting a lot of shit, and his next fight has to be a fight that people want to see. You see what I'm saying? And if he explores options at 135 pounds, remember, like we talked about with Mikey Garcia, how does that whole Showtime thing play into it? Because Showtime is invested in Mikey Garcia, and they're the one that putting on his fights. And can he go over to, ESPN? Because I really highly doubt that Bob Arum will send him over to Showtime, and you can say that for sure. You can blame him for that. So the options, it's like they're there, but they're not there. It's just a lot of political bullshit that fans don't care about. And then they try to fucking slide that shit past the fans, like fans don't have social media and boxers don't run their mouth. So, anyway. Wrap that up, right? We ain't even been live for half an hour yet. Oh, man. I messed up, y'all. I watched that bootleg episode of Game of Thrones. I screwed myself over. But it is what it is. So what's next on our list? So for those who are here late, we didn't play no music at the beginning of the video. We didn't waste no time. We talked about the whole Lomachenko situation in detail. We're 26 minutes in. I started at exactly 1 p.m. It's 1:26 now, or it's 10:26 over on the West Coast. You know? So you can catch up on it. We spent the last 26 minutes talking about it. And honestly, I don't know what to talk about else, you know, in the situation. I mean, in the 130-pound division. Should we move to 135? Should we move to 135? Talk about that? Or let me see. What does my title say? What are we supposed to be talking about? What does my title say? Oh, Tim Bradley. Oh, Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley. You know, people are thinking that something may have happened over the course of his career, that maybe he got like some God damn it. Maybe he got some news from like a doctor or some shit and was like, yo, if you continue to fight, you know, like Rocky Balboa in Rocky 4 or Rocky 5, like God forbid, right? But good for him, you know, but good for him that he's made good money in his career. Remember, he had 3 Pacquiao fights, and also he was making $2 million a fight on HBO. You know, $2 million a fight on HBO. So he should have made, Timothy Bradley should have made about, could you say 20 million through his career? 20 million? You know, and you don't see him driving around in Bentleys and shit like that. He should be, you know, he should be cool. He should be cool, right? You know? So, you know, it's kind of a shame because there was big fights out there that I wanted to see for him, but realistically, he took some beatings. And then he got voodoo. You know, so you have to think, if it wasn't voodoo, then was something going on neurologically with him after, you know, Ruslan Provodnikov smashed him all up? Pacquiao put him in a wheelchair, you know? Provodnikov put, you know, remember when he was, go look at, what was it? Was it HBO 24/7 Road to Marquez Bradley? Where you see them taking Tim Bradley in the back of the locker room, and somebody, they holding his arms, and he walking, he like fucking rambling and babbling and shit. And we was laughing at it then, like, damn, he got fucked up. But what if he really fucked up, you know? And maybe this was good for him that we know of, that he got out of the business when he did, because he wasn't defined as a fighter anymore. We know that Timothy Bradley can box. We know that Timothy Bradley could move. But he wasn't moving enough. He, like, where did he get that whole thing from, where he thought he was this pressure fighter, power punching guy that was going out there trying to, you know, when Timothy Bradley fought Marquez, he put on a masterful performance. He put on performances like that in the past, but then, you know, after, you know, well, once he met Provodnikov, and after that, he became this brawler slugger, this light punching brawler slugger, which he wasn't. However, he did stop Brandon Rios. Or did Brandon Rios stop himself? You know, he clearly avoided Khan. I remember that. That was around the beginning of my YouTube career. He clearly avoided Khan. Yeah, that's what it was. He had an identity issue. That's exactly what it was. You know, because we'd be saying like, "Yo, box, move," and he's slugging it out. It's like, you big-headed bastard. Like, yo, you know, it used to be, you get pissed and frustrated watching him. You know, you get pissed and frustrated. You know, but for good for him, no, you know, and like you said, he seems like one of them type of guys, like he's got his money, you know, he's settled into commentating, you know, so that's some shit that's going to grow for him, you know, over the years. You know, so like I said, he seems like he lives a nice, modest life, you know, like one of them type of people that, you know, like he has like a shitload of money, but just buying like the new PlayStation is like, oh shit, I got that shit, yes, you know. That's when you're living good, man. When you know you can get anything you want, but like you don't want like crazy, outrageous shit. Yeah, he'll grow as a commentator. Remember, a lot of people don't remember when Paulie first started as a commentator. People used to get on him. Now, Paulie is very credible. And Paulie is on his way to being like one of the best, in my opinion, of our generation. Give it like 5-10 years, like a 50-year-old Paulie. He's going to be one of the best commentators of our generation. He'll be one of the best commentators of our generation. So anyway, what's next on the list? Yo, what's one of those things called? Somebody help me out. You know how people sit at a desk so long, like, and your back be hurting? Which one of those I've been using a fucking pillow for my couch. What's that back thing called, man? I need one of those, man. You ever like try to look up something in Google, some shit, and it'll give you like the proper definition? So you go to Google, bad back, chair back, pillow thing. I gotta get one of those, man. I gotta get one of those. So what's next on our list? Oh man, Mayweather McGregor right around the corner, yo. Get my back. God damn it. Mayweather McGregor right. That shit's 20 days away. Nah, Lenny Mitchell, you got to go back down. You got to see. You got to go back down and watch the video. You got to rewind. Mayweather McGregor's 20 days away. They call it a circus. They call it a freak show. Tickets is still low. Lumbar support. Is that it? You sure? The lumbar support is supposed to be like lower back. So we're having issues, man. That All Access was born. Yeah, man. Listen. They did us dirty. I want them to release the footage. Give us a little bit of the footage. Paulie is on some shit. Paulie like, yo, we want that footage out. Give us that footage ASAP. If y'all, because look what Conor's doing, if you don't know. Look what his team is doing, right? Paulie is going to a UFC-run facility. Multi-billion-dollar company, right? Multi-billion-dollar company. They got their own private investigator cameramen, right? Their own photographers. You know how valuable that any pictures from inside of that sparring, any video from inside of there, you know how valuable that is? So what do? They take certain images of Paulie looking all fucked up, Paulie levitating, Paulie on the canvas, Conor standing over him, Paulie taking, what was it? The straight left hand, and the way the photo captures it, you see Paulie face all distorted and shit. They released those photos, and they got the casuals and those Irish fans and those UFC fans like, oh shit, Conor's fucking Paulie up. And then what does Conor McGregor do? They have that All Access of Conor McGregor talking that shit. In fact, we are going to listen to it. Talking that shit about how he whooped Paulie ass. Smart. That's some crafty shit. Is this it? Where's it at?
But it's not entirely clear.
Let's put it on the big screen.
If he's friend or foe. Put him in with a guy like me.
Let's put it on the big screen. Let's put it on the big screen. How's my sound? Did my sound get better since the last video? I've been working on some shit. As you can see, it's brighter around here. I'm trying to adjust the lights. We're going to be going to 1080p before the fight.
Help us overcome them. HopeNetwork.org/autism.
I'm in here right now for 2 auto thefts.
My bad. We got to play this. They're giving me shit, though. So, yeah, that was crafty by them. That was crafty by McGregor. They used the shit out of Paulie. And Paulie is hot.
You can put ankle weights on my ankles. You can tie this hand behind my back. We can do all that, and then we'll see if he can still beat him. Who the fuck does he think he's going to scare?
Run that back.
Arrives to meet up with Team McGregor, but it's not entirely clear if he's friend or foe.
Put him in with a guy like me, a 2-time world champion. You can put ankle weights on my ankles. You can tie this hand behind my back. We can do all that, and then we'll see if he can still beat him. Who the fuck does he think he's going to scare in a boxing ring? I mean, I'll put the camera guy against him, it'll be competitive.
8 months ago, Malinagi's fighting words caught Conor's attention.
I was just watching this guy speak like, who the fuck is he?
And that disrespect led to McGregor inviting Malinagi to spar.
Looked at his stance, looked at his approach. some similarities to Floyd. I didn't really give a fuck if there were similarities or not. He was speaking a hell of a game. I said, bring this boy in here and let's fight. I feel fresh as fuck.
Whether Paulie dares back up his trash talk remains to be seen, as phones are switched off and all video cameras are put away.
That's a good point, Houston.
A short time later, Conor releases a single image on social media, proving that he can fight Paulie with not one, but two hands behind his back.
The shot he hits hard, John, he hits hard. At first glance, you look at this guy, you think, this guy don't know what he's doing. I mean, what is he doing? But then you start to, when you get in the ring, you start to set traps for him, and you realize he's setting them back for you. So he does know what he's doing. It's just a matter of, it has to work, because if you set the same trap over and over again, you got to hit full traps. Floyd will see them one too many times, and he will stop working. So that's the thing to work on. That's the thing to work on.
He stayed in there. You got to give respect to that. But that was it. He came, he got his ass whooped, and that's it. So,
Oh!
Round in the books for McGregor.
Paulie, he said you got your ass whipped, yo. We want the people, we want the tapes. We want the footage. But if the footage don't come out, I got to troll a little bit, y'all. You know, I got to get on my money grab. All right? I got to get on my money grab. I'm going with the pictures. The pictures look like Paulie got fucked up. They got the pictures. Y'all want to see the pictures? Y'all want to see the pictures? Want to see the pictures? Look at the photos, man. And those pictures don't lie. Paulie was looking all bruised up. You know, and you know he a little, you know Paulie a little, you know, he retired, you know? He eating. Doing good. He doing good. I don't know. Those pictures are telling, man. This photo is damning. This photo is damning. This photo is damning, man. Look, why has he got Paulie so confused? I don't know. I don't know. You know, we got to see the footage, though. We gotta see the footage. Oh, look at that speed. Look at that speed. Look at that style. We gotta see the footage, though. We gotta see the footage. Y'all damn well know that footage ain't never coming out. Y'all damn well know that footage is going into the UFC Vault archive. That footage ain't never coming out. They used Paulie. They used him up. They used him up. They used him up. They know he was gonna leave camp after they shit. Cause first, did you notice it was a slow little bit of a process? It was like one photo came out. The one photo. What was the first one? When Conor was levitating? Was it that one? No, the first one was the one when Conor had his hands behind his back, right? Got the fucking internet all up in the uproar, right? People was like, whoa. And then Paulie was looking a little disheveled, you know? Then Joe Cortez does a little bit of a phone interview, right? Joe Cortez does a little phone interview saying, yeah, they had some little shit, I had to get in there and, break them up and everything, You know why Joe Cortez is there? Joe Cortez is a referee, coach, trainer, advisor. So basically, he's in there to tell Conor, okay, like that's not legal in this. You can do that. You can keep punching in these situations. Don't hold his arm like that. Don't bend that low. Don't low. That's what Joe Cortez's job is for. So people wondering, like, why would he bring him to? I would have loved for him to have Joe Cortez and to bring like an actual boxer in, or like an actual like boxing trainer, like as an advisor. Because truth be told, as I said, and it's true, even though I be trolling sometimes, but at the same time, every fighter got a chance. Conor McGregor has a chance, a puncher's chance. Everybody's got a puncher's chance, right? Right? That's always the easy way out. That's always the safe way out. Everybody's got a puncher's chance. You know? I forgot what I was going to say talking that bullshit. Talking that bullshit. Oh, we don't know what McGregor's style is. We don't know that style. What's that style? Floyd don't know that style. We never seen that boxing, UFC, MMA first time fighting Floyd Mayweather style. We don't know what his style is going to be. That shit's probably going to confuse the shit out of Floyd. He can't go in there trying to box Floyd. He got to go out there on some. You ever see Jimmy Bird? What's it? Jimmy Bird Smith? What was his name? That boxer, that famous boxing footage where the dude go out there, he got that crazy style. You go, let me pull it up. Let me pull it. Jimmy Birdman Smith? What was his name? Jimmy Bird. What was his name? What's his name? Every time I see this fucking video, I start cracking the fuck up. All right, let's pull together. Let's pull together. Let's pull together. All right.
Introducing in the blue corner to my right, wearing the black plug with gold accessories, he weighs 216 3/4 pounds. Professional record, 1 win, no defeat, 1 knockout. From Tampa, Florida, Tony Muscle. His opponent in the red corner, wearing the gold front, blue trim, weighing 198 pounds, making his professional debut out of Orlando, Florida, Jimmy Smith. 4 rounds heavyweight.
Okay, gentlemen, this is a 4-round heavyweight fight. There will be instructions before the bout, all right? You guys listen to my command, ground and charge. You understand? Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, you're not touching the belt. And the tail of the tape shows an advantage for Tony Moscow. He's a very big guy, 6'2", 216, 72-inch reach. Jimmy Smith checking in at 198 for tonight's bout. Tony Moscow, a very popular local fighter who's making his first debut here at the Saildo a month ago. It was a successful one. Corner defense from that left college. And what Jimmy Smith looks like when we get this
Whoa! Oh! What if he come out with his crazy stuff? I'm gonna get some more iced tea. I'll be right back.
I mean, he has a left hand drop very well, and Moscow, who has had some
Great Jimmy Birdman Smith.
And the tail of the tape shows an advantage for Tony Moscow. He's a very big guy, 6'2", 216, 72-inch reach. Jimmy Smith checking in at 198 for tonight's bout. Tony Moscow, a very popular local fighter who's making his first debut here at the Saildo a month ago. It was a successful one. Corner defense from that left college. And what Jimmy Smith looks like when we get this fight, he needs an alarm. And very variations in it. That may, we may need to give people recently here. I think we've seen a new world record.
So what if Little Jimmy Birdman sleep.
He walked into a haymaker. I was doing nuts. I didn't know to look at it. I'll be a quick one. It looks like he's having an epileptic fit. There he is taking the right hand. I mean, he has a left hand drop very low. And Moscow, who has had some amateur experience, knows when to spot it, open it, and exploit it. But check out where Smith drops the left hand. You see in just a second. Actually, we just saw the whole fight right there. Right here. Drop the left. Right there.
Said it looked like he's coming out. He looked like he was having an epileptic fit.
Like some kind of weird bird coming in.
Some kind of weird bird.
Well, you know, tell you what, Moscow does a good job of keeping his composure while all this is going on. He doesn't get into it for all. Stands back, measures the man, it comes in with a pretty good right hand.
So what if? So just imagine, right? Do you know what Conor McGregor's boxing style going to be? I want, you know, see, the thing is, Paulie can't talk about anything because Paulie will get sued. I want Paulie, if there's anything I want to hear Paulie talk about, I want somebody to ask him, yo, Paulie, what's his style? Like, can you show us what his stance is? What's his shit? But then Paulie, during All Access, had already alluded to, you know, like, basically the shit be crazy. He said, like, oh, what's this? Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, you know, he'll just like be in like regular boxing form and then he'll go do some more crazy shit, you know? Like, what the fuck? So, you know, it's scary because Floyd don't know what to prepare for. He don't know if he gonna come out there like Jimmy Birdman. That shit didn't go well for Jimmy Birdman Smith. Jimmy Birdman having some issues. What are your thoughts on the Lomachenko fight? We spent the first 28 minutes of the video talking about that. I did no music at the beginning of this video. I did no bullshitting around. We started and we had a nice little flow to the video. So we talked about it in thorough detail, bro. We talked about it. You can see his stance in pictures. Yeah, but that shit is different in all kind of pictures. Should just be different, you know? So, what is next on our topic of things to talk about? Pacquiao Horn 2. You know, people giving, would you put money on Conor? Hell no, that's not in God's will. Hell no. That is not in God's will. That is not in his will, yo. Hell no. No. Hell to no. But I don't gamble anyway, that's a sin. That's really not in God's will. Hell the fuck no. However, if you put some money on that shit, you know, you got Lord, you got the Lord on your side if he wins, you know. Teacher, you think Conor will be switch hitting what? You think he's gonna hit Floyd? When? How? Where? You know? No. Nah, man, I don't gamble, man. I don't gamble. I don't gamble. I don't gamble. Can't do it. I don't play no cards. I don't play no fucking I Declare War, no Uno. I don't even like Connect 4. Yeah, getting prostitutes is a sin. I've already said, you know, when I go to Vegas, I'm going to get, you know, come on, man. Listen, I'm a realist. I'm one of them people, one of the few people you'll ever know that will tell you exactly how it is 100%. I'm going to get a prostitute out there. I don't got a girl. You know, why would I go to Vegas? I've heard that's like one of the #1 things you do when you're a dude. You go out there, you want some shit, get a prostitute. Not like an expensive prostitute, but like I don't know how much prostitutes cost. I haven't had one in God knows how long. How much does a Vegas prostitute cost? You know, what's a low-level Vegas prostitute? I don't want the low level. I want mid to upper tier like level, but not no $20,000 a night type prostitute. You know, not no $10,000, not no $5,000, $1,000. $1,000 prostitute. No, but whatever the case may be, that's not your concern. But anyway, however, I am afraid, though, you got to be careful because what if, okay, this is my biggest fear. This is probably why I won't get a prostitute. Because I heard Vegas is fucking crazy, man. What if I get a prostitute, right? And then I get back, you know, to the hotel and she's like, all right, give me your money, motherfucker. And she pull out a switchblade. I'm like, no! I jump out the window. Oh no, no, no! I am not getting a prostitute. I can't take that chance. I can't take that chance. I can't take that. I'm not taking that chance. We fighting. I'm not taking that chance. No, you know what? I'm not getting no prostitute. It's too risky. Vegas is too risky. Vegas is too damn, the stress level is too damn high. No thanks. We're not getting that, you know, I wanted to get a prostitute, but now talking to you guys, thanks. Nah, we're not going to get a prostitute. It might be, excuse my language, it might be a nigga. We don't want those problems in our life. We got way too much shit going on. Sell for an escort. Okay, see, you get an escort, that's the legal way. Right? So you know you're going to get a chick. And I heard Vegas got brothels. Like actual, real, legal whorehouses, right? I go chill in one for like a day. I guess. Whatever, let's just get back to boxing. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah. So not only is, wait a minute. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. How many days until September 16th?
It's 41 days until then.
Oh, she can count today. Sometimes this bitch can't count. Canelo versus Golovkin is 41 days away. Mayweather versus McGregor is 20 days away. Right? This is 6. Yeah, 20 days away. So, did y'all notice? It's just like, even though Canelo versus Golovkin is sold out, even though we hyped to see the fight, you know, did you notice it's like really not really like no real buzz? Like really, I guess. I mean, I guess because, you know, like Canelo not like a controversial dude or nothing. I'm not saying fighters have to be controversial. You know, on Golovkin, you know, did you notice he's been pretty much just off the map? Did y'all notice that shit? That he'd been pretty much off the map. You would think that he would be like, maybe he just training his motherfucking ass off. You know what I mean? You'll see him at little things here and there, but where the fuck has he been at? In camp. You know, you got Canelo out here riding horses and shit. Skinny jeans on. You know? Never know, man. Canelo been training since after the Chavez Jr. fight. But yeah, but truth be told, he never stopped training. You know, remember, he rolled right into fucking this fight, Hey, TJ, you think Loma done for the year? What is it? Nah, they could do November for him. They could do November, December for him. Nah, he's not done for the year. That'd be fucked up if he is. I remember also, Top Rank has obligations to ESPN now. You know, it's not like HBO would have to pick up certain fights. They have obligations. And Errol Spence needs a personality. He has the ability to be a star. Yeah, and also a friend of mine who covered the weigh-in for me, for Broner Garcia, interviewed Errol Spence. He was telling me like, yo, Errol Spence is like fucking 180 pounds, bro. This is a big head. Did y'all notice Errol Spence is huge? But see, he's young to be, you know, and he can cut that weight like that. You know, he's a young, you know, like in his prime, like right there, budding fighter. But like looking at him, man, when I saw him, man, what fight was that? The Berto fight. You know, like, dude, it's huge. I'm thinking, like, did this motherfucker be making 147? You know, he looked like he can just drop 25 pounds, like it's, you know, easy though. You know. Yeah, James Gale's sister bad. You know. I might move to the UK one day, man. No, I wouldn't move to the UK. Too many goddamn pedophiles over there. Rife. I moved to like Greenland or some shit. You know, if I could, I'd move to Alaska. If I could, be out living in the fucking wilderness. However, gotta have high-speed internet in my cable, and I'm good. I'll be out there in the wilderness, literally. I would love to live somewhere like secluded from like the fucking world. I like Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is supposed to be returning October the 14th. He said that Billy Joe Saunders didn't show interest and David Lemieux didn't show interest. So it makes you wonder, who is he going to fight? I would love to see him fight Jamal Charlo. Makes the perfect sense, right? Jamal Charlo is the WBC mandatory now. They're both fighting at 160, and fans would love to see that fight. And it would help Jamal Charlo if he was to win to get that recognition. And remember, Danny Jacobs is on a pedestal now. You know, Danny Jacobs is a star after that pay-per-view. You know, he got a lot of exposure for even losing the fight. It was one of those situations like where he may have lost the fight, but he won the event. You see what I'm saying? You know, his stock has risen from that. Jacobs won't fight Charlo. Yeah, I don't think so. You know, because like I said, like Danny Jacobs' stock has risen right now. You know, he's no more of an undercard fighter. You got to match him right and keep his momentum going. You know, you got to keep his momentum going. You know, but if they was to pull that off, I know they're not going to pull lumbar support. Yeah, I need it, man. I need it. I need it bad. I'm starting to sit in this chair more and more. Let me tell you what the goal has been. We've already told you, you know, that we had the hardest part of what I've been trying to do over the last several years is over. The 3-year, well, hey, why'd you time him out? Chris Ariola's rubber nose. Untime him, bro. The 3-year anniversary for this channel was the 28th. There was a good 16 months or so where I wasn't consistent with the channel when I was out trying to figure out how we're going to get access to the events. So long story short, we now have access to all the boxing events. You know, some events like Mayweather versus McGregor, you know, are like there's politics involved. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, we're trying to fight through those politics. But see, worst case scenario is we'll go to Canelo versus Golovkin, and we have a greater chance to get in as media, then I won't be wasting a trip. But whatever the case may be, you know, we have the access now. We have a team. Last I counted, there's 17 of us, you know, spread out on social media, people who are going to fights. We're affiliated. We have sponsors. You know, check out the link down below. We're working with a promoter, Global Boxing Legacy. That's Lynx Lewis's promotional company. You know, a shout out to their head of digital marketing, who's been looking out for me, giving me advice, advising me. You know, shout out to you know, the networks who I've talked to and had like correspondence with, you know, as far as, you know, doing some creative things. So now we're at the point like where we're getting everything organized, and all the things I've been talking over the last several years are now you're going to start seeing the fruit of it over the next 3 months. So basically one day you're going to look at this channel and everything is finally at a point where I'm ahead of time. One day I'm going to say in October, definitely November, you're going to look at this channel, you're going to be like, wow, this shit is fucking for real now. I'm talking about full, you know, set. Everything is just in place. I just don't want to feel like talking about it anymore and explaining it, but everything is really, really set. So I got to get used to sitting here at a desk, you know, so I'm building a comfortable ass workstation. You know, I got all these screens and shit, all the technology, because going forward in the future, you know, I'm going to have to be sitting at this desk, you know, at this workstation 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day. I already calculated, because, you know, you got to do, you know, you got to coordinate the website. You got to coordinate people getting to events. You got to do like the financing for shit. Got to do my own personal shit. You know, got to upload videos, you know. So, you know, yesterday, you know, I put out, what, 10 different videos, and I'm sitting on tons. I'm sitting on maybe about different, I can't even count, fucking videos from Mayweather McGregor, from Broner Garcia, from Hank Lundy, still stuff that's relevant today from Thurman Garcia, you know, of them talking about, you know, Mayweather McGregor, if it was to happen and how they think it would go. So, you know, I got all this content. There's a lot going on, though. But what I want to do is make sure that, you know, like when we do these shows, that you get all the information that you can get. And now it's not a situation where I have to get information from other people, because now me being a media member, I'm there now, and I am the source. People say cite your sources. I'm the source now. Hey, look at me now. So, back to boxing. You know, I want Canelo versus Golovkin to be successful. But do you really feel that Canelo versus Golovkin will do more than Canelo versus Chavez? The Canelo versus Chavez number is 1.2 million. That's what they say. Some people say that that number is inflated and it did around 870 or so pay-per-view buys. But whatever the case may be, let's say if the number was 1.2 million pay-per-view buys, does Canelo versus Golovkin do more than that? All I know is, and I'm going to go on another rant, every time I start thinking about it, I get pissed off. Every time I start thinking about it, I get pissed off. If you're going to buy Mayweather versus McGregor and you scumbags will, you better have your Canelo versus Golovkin money. You got 41 days until the fight. Buy the fight. It makes me sick to my stomach. You make me sick. You make me sick with all that shit you was talking, and you didn't buy Ward versus Kovalev to 100,030 pay-per-view buys some shit. You make me sick. You make me sick. Y'all talk about what the fighters should make, and this fighter's ducking this fight and everything, but you're on your fucking phones and shit, you know, or you watching on your fucking, you not paying for the fight. You scum. It's no better way to say it. You ain't no good. You ain't no good. This Ward versus Kovalev 2 had the most pure animosity. You had America versus Russia. He punched that man balls. The fight ended in some old epic fashion. You had all these empty seats, pay-per-view buys not purchased. You make me sick. It hurt me when I saw. I was like, man, War Kovalev 2, man. This is just the fucking fight of the century, man. That animosity, yo. And you know? But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just trying to calm down. I'm just trying to calm down. Yeah, they blame Rock Nation for poor promotion. You know, I'm like, man, where was Jay-Z at? You know, Jay couldn't chill with Andre Ward, do a photo op. He just gave up on it, right? He was at the Warriors game, though. He was at the Warriors game. You know, you couldn't pay Andre Ward a visit in the camp, so it could have been on HBO 24/7. You know, with Lee Schreiber was at a Sabretooth, Ray Donovan, talking about how Jay-Z showed up, you know, to Andre Ward camp and shit. No, Jay. Listen, let me not mess with Jay, man. Let me not mess with Jay, man. I'm not gonna talk no more about Rock Nation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Imagine if they would have had, you know, like fucking Jay-Z just at the fight. You know, and like Beyonce, you know, she was pregnant at the time, you know, her do a little scene or some shit, you know, or something. I wonder if Andre Ward got the Jay-Z album for free. You know? So there was better things I feel that a Rock Nation could have done, you know, and if it is true that they're out of boxing, you know, for you know, or they're on their way out of boxing. You know, they just came in too aggressive. But you also have to wonder, remember they offered Adrien Broner that $40 million? What if he would have took it? And even if Rock Nation was to get out of boxing, they would have brought him out. And it still would have been probably more money than he's probably going to make for his career, which is crazy. What if Broner would have took that Rock Nation deal? Word is they brought Cotto out of his deal for a lot of money. What if Broner would have took that deal? And he would have got brought out and still been able to go back to Heyman, but maybe the relationship would have been tarnished. But now Broner's making $1 million a fight and lost his last fight. You know? So are they going to keep him making $1 million a fight? Where does he go from here? Where does he go from here? I'm so glad I found this Hank Lundy interview that I did a long time ago with him just going crazy on Adrien Broner. I'm going to release it today. Rock Nation got lucky AB didn't take it. True, because they would have had to buy him out. And then he would have been on some bullshit, probably losing and everything. Because for one, they wouldn't have been able to get him no fights. So, you know, I really want to know something. What did they say? Did they say that I heard somewhere, I don't know where, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you guys know, that Cotto got brought out of his Rock Nation contract to fight the Golden Boy for like $15 million. You know, so imagine if they tried to sign Broner, what was it, 5 years, $40 million? What if they like had to buy him out for like $20 million or some shit, you know, or $15 million? Has Broner seen $15 million in his career? You know, at this point in time? It's crazy. Now, Broner's not a gatekeeper yet. It's like this. It's like this. I look at it like this. The level is hype job, gatekeeper, journeyman. Hype job, gatekeeper, journeyman. So he's still, you can say he's like a hype job right now. He's not a gatekeeper yet. You know, Andre Berto is the ultimate holder of the keys of the gate. If you want to get a WBC title shot, go look it up. You fight Andre Berto. You want a WBC title shot or WBC title at 147, you fight Andre Berto. He's the ultimate holder of the keys. He is a solid warrior. He be there with his spear and shit and all these keys around his waist and shit at the gates to the WBC. They offered AB $50 million for 60 years. Yeah, so he could have probably fucked around and got a $20 million buyout. Some shit like that. You know, the buyout be some shit like 30 to 50% sometimes, depending on how good your lawyer is. Would he be getting paid more than Andre? Ward had a situation where he had to be brought out of his contract. Don't forget that Dan Goosen, God rest his soul, took Andre Ward's contract to the grave. And he was suing him for $10 million or so. So no, I think Adrien Broner would have been getting more than Andre Ward. Remember, they offered Deontay Wilder money. They offered Keith Thurman money. They came in slinging all this bread. Pissed out Heyman off, got blacklisted. You know? Broner's an undercard fighter. Yeah, he's undercard now because, you know, there's fights out there for him. It's going to be on Showtime, but can he headline another Showtime card? By the way, that fight, it was lit in there. I was there. It was 12,000 people. It was 12,000 people. You know? So, and if he does come back, who does he fight? Who do you want to see Broner against? Who? You know, that you'll be like, oh, you know, he's going to win. Or, you know, you hear Broner talking about how, well, you know, I'm taking camp seriously this time. Like, how many times we're going to hear that? Broner Khan, I would love to see that. But then, you know, Khan got Joshua problems. He got to handle those problems with Joshua first. Amir Khan's got to handle Anthony Joshua. He's got some real issues there, man. He's got Joshua problems. Pacquiao Horn is a go. Pacquiao Horn too. I want to see that also. I got word, which is smart if it does happen, that it's going to be on ABC. Actually, full-fledged free TV this time. Now, that's crazy. Pacquiao Horn 2, or it's going to be Horn Pacquiao, you know, on free TV. Now, that's crazy if it's true. You know, in November. What if they do that shit like right after a football game or some shit? You know how crazy that's going to be? Broner versus Lamont Peterson. They're close friends, but Lamont Peterson, with the way he fights, would beat the bullshit out of Adrien Broner. ABC, free television, ABC. ABC is free television here in the States. You know, free television here in the States. Okay, so what am I doing? My bad, I'm looking up something. So we got some new things. Let me just tell you guys straight right now. It's like this, right? I was first going to go to Las Vegas for a month. Then I realized it's going to be too goddamn expensive, and also I don't want to be out there for a whole month. So I have 4 days left to decide if I'm going to go to Vegas for 10 days, and I'll be out there for the Mayweather McGregor fight week. I was also told by some people that have been looking out there saying like, yo, fuck that shit. We got some connections. We can get you into the fight. But I don't want to go through that. And also, it'd be much easier for me, and I'll be more prepared if I go to Canelo versus Golovkin. But either way, I got to make up my mind. You know, so we are going to Vegas. We're just, you know, we're just trying to figure out like what's going to be the smarter way to do things. And also, I have a team now. You know, we got to make sure, you know, the team gets paid. You know, I have, you know, we got expenses. You know, all this shit costs money. I want to make some technological upgrades. And basically, you know, I want everything to be fully operational, you know, by October. So when you look at us in October and you come to this show, you know, we're going to be fully interactive. I'm talking about like these live streams are going to be in 1080p. You know, I'm going to get rid of this. This is actually going to be bigger. I'm pushing all that shit back. I'm going to get like a 40 or 50 inch or something right here. So we'll be able to actually like look at shit and analyze shit. Got like a nicer looking chair, you know, nicer looking, you know, desk. You know, some boxing memorabilia, and we can just fall back and chill and have people on the show, you know, and like really, you know, get shit popping. You know, so it's a busy few weeks because now, you know, FightView 360, the media company, yes, I built a media company. I built a boxing media company. We interview world champion boxers. Should I go through the names? No, I'm not. So we just want to make sure we bring you the best content. And since I'm a hermit, you know, and I be in the crib all the time, I'm blessed, you know, that I'm able to do this. It's like, you know, I got to be getting these videos out. You know, so people think I'm on my high horse and all that. No, it's like, yo, what the fuck? I don't fucking work from home. I'll be at home. You know, so might as well just, you know, like get this shit done. Reward fight Joshua, he has hinted at it. No, we don't know what he's going to do next, but he's got about another month or so to decide before those three organizations. Remember, he's the IBF, WBO, and WBA champ before they come knocking and say, yo, you got these mandatories, bro. So he's got to figure out what he's going to do. You know, so right now, you know him. He's taking his time off, and then he's going to say when he comes back, people threaten to strip him. He's going to say some shit like, well, you know, I do what I want to do because, you know, I've been in this sport and I get to make my own decisions and all kind of shit like that. You know? But I'm just tired, man. Like, I want all this shit to be organized. So I want the whole team to be at a point like where we all know what fights we're going to. You know, I get the footage, they get the footage. You know, it's edited and uploaded easily. We all make some money. You know, we want to like try to reinvent the wheel a little bit. You know, do things differently. You know, to sell the sport to different markets and everything. I'm not trying to catch my competition, as I said. We're trying to leapfrog. War versus Bellew next. No, Tony Bellew said last week that no, the fight is not happening. And also Bellew versus Hay 2 is not happening because, you know, Bellew wants to be A side, but really we all know that Hay is the A side, but Bellew is the A side because he got the win, even though Bellew beat a one-legged Hay, who the one-legged Hay up until he got the one leg was winning the fight. And I'm a big Tony Bellew fan, but come on, you fought him, you got, and he had one leg. So Tony Bellew is really trying for this next fight to get that ultimate payday. He's been trying to get Wilder, but he's out of the mix. We did a whole breakdown of the heavyweight division. Was that yesterday or the day before? Yesterday. You know, so we don't know who Tony Bellew is fighting. So he's just holding out for that big fight. Just holding out for that big fight. Hay put on too much muscle, man. Ward can move and beat Bellew. I think so. Yes, I think so. I think so. But they said that fight's like, you know, not happening. You know, it's not like it's not happening. But we have to hear something from Ward because remember, he is basically the 175-pound division. He has 3 belts. Adonis Stevenson has the other one, so he's got to do something. Also, there's talks that he's going to be signing with Top Rank once, if, you know, allegedly that Rock Nation leaves the sport of boxing. And if you noticed, Jay Prince fighters Shakur Stevenson, Brian Jennings have signed with Top Rank, not Rock Nation. Did you notice that? You know, and Andre Ward is a Jay Prince fighter. Broner hoping to hell when Indongo beats Crawford. Yeah, because Al Hammond could pull some strings. Not really, because Sergey Lipinets is next. See, here's the thing. If Crawford wins against Indongo, it's very likely that he is off to 147, right? Which a lot of fighters at 140 are waiting for so they can stop draining themselves, you know, or certain fighters can go up there and say, those belts are spread out, I can get them. Because whoever wins between Crawford versus Indongo gets all the belts. If Crawford wins, he moves up. All those belts, WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF in the ring, all vacated. Even the highly coveted seductive, and alluring IBO title is vacated. If Indongo wins, he can hold on to all those titles, reign as long as he can, and whoever fights him, it's going to be an X on his fucking back because he's got all those belts. A guy like Adrien Broner, if Al Heyman works his magic enough, can get Broner to move to fight at 140, right, win all those belts. And if he beats Indongo, his career would be back. So, you know, that's a deep political situation right there, which I got to do an in-detail video on Crawford versus Indongo to explain all that. Because if Crawford moves up once again, and if Crawford wins, he'll move up. All those belts for the whole division will be vacated, and then it can be spread all out again. You know, fighters, promoters are going to be like, oh, shit, I'm going to send my fighter for the WBO. I'm going to send mine to the WBA world. Oh, I'm going after the super world. You know, then when it goes to, you know, Indongo, if he wins, then everybody going to be looking like, oh, he got all those belts. Let's see if we can go fight him and get all the belts. You know? It's politics, though, for you, man. It's politics. This Broner guy, man. You just see him and you want him to do good, but you just be looking at him like, yo, you be on some dumb shit sometimes, man. Get it together, AB. Get it together, bro. You know? Like, the issue he's always had is being flat-footed is number 2, but the issues he always had is punch output. If you got a good chin and you know how, you got a little bit of a good defense, just go out there, out-throw Adrien Broner. Just throw 700 punches and you can win. By God, you're going to win. Throw 700 punches and you're going to win. I brewed some iced tea. Let me tell you what I did. I took 15 tea bags, right? 15. And I boiled the water first. I took the tea bags, the little tea piece things at the top, and I tore them around a little bit so they kind of tied together. So what I did was I put the tea bags into the water while I was boiling and put the top on the pot and let the little tea bag things at the top like hang out the side, but they were locked in between so it was stable, you know? And man, oh man, I got these lemons and I cut them up and put them in there. A little bit of sugar, you know? And this shit has been delicious. You can't see the lemon. This shit has been delicious. Very refreshing. Very refreshing. But anyway, so yeah, what's going on? What's next on our list? We got 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left. The next videos I'm going to put out is 2 videos on the World Boxing Super Series. I'm covering every single fight. I've done my research on all the fighters and still doing research on the World Boxing Super Series, which is starting in September and October for the first round. The second round is going to be in January and February, and the finals is going to be in May. It's 2 divisions, $50 million spread across 2 divisions, the 168-pound division and the cruiserweight division, 200-pound division. I've already put videos out on George Groves versus Jamie Cox. That's for the WBA title. But also the winner of that goes on to fight the winner of Chris Eubank Jr. versus Anvi Yildirim for the highly coveted and seductive and alluring IBO title. You have Colin Smith versus Eric Skoglund. You know, and then you have Jürgen Brammer versus Rob Brandt. The winner of Smith versus Skoglund fights the winner of Brammer versus Brandt. And at the end of that tournament for 168 pounds, you could see Caleb Smith or Eubank Jr. No, Caleb Smith or George Groves versus Eubank Jr. or George Groves. I forgot how I said it. Confused myself. The cruiserweight division is deep, and we're still researching. But basically, the big fight right now, which is the first round everybody's talking about, is Alexander Usyk, WBO cruiserweight champion, versus former WBO champion Marco Huck, who is very much on his last legs. So I'm going to be covering every single fight for that tournament. I'm doing prediction videos for every single fight of that tournament, and we're going to be the only media organization on YouTube as far as YouTube commentary. It's going to cover every single fight. And we're getting people to some of those fights. We already talked about the McGregor and the Paulie sparring. We've already been here for 1 hour and 20 minutes exactly. We started talking at exactly 3 minutes into the video. The first 3 minutes I was sharing the video around. We've been on schedule talking about everything in a scheduled order. So now these last 11 minutes, we just bullshitting around talking about random ass boxing topics. But what I really think happened in the Paulie McGregor sparring footage, I really think that I'm going by the photos. The photos show that Paulie was having some trouble. Until we see the video, right? I'm going with the pictures. I'm going with the pictures. Yeah, I gotta research what's going on with the World Boxing Super Series broadcast. Somebody told me yesterday that Sky Sports said no. You know? Loma for the guy coming off the laws, jumping him away. Great victory. White privilege is awesome. What the hell did that come from? I mean, yeah, the fight was fucked up. I mean, we already talked about that. Do you think Broner versus Mauricio Herrera match can happen? Yes. Herrera can actually get a lot of fights now because people may think that he's done. You know? Can you give a quick rundown on Ray Beltran fighting for citizenship? Well, Ray Beltran is ranked very high by all the sanctioning bodies. Ray Beltran is going to likely be Robert Easter's mandatory, right? He is hold on, I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull it up. So Ray Beltran is in a really good spot. You know, he's ranked number 2 by the WBO. Might as well say number 1 for Robert Easter, IBF. Number 6, WBA. And that's Jorge Linares, but Jorge Linares is also the WBC, and Ray Beltran is ranked number 2. Luke Campbell's fighting Jorge Linares, so technically that makes him number 1 to either Mikey Garcia or Jorge Linares. You know, they could order him in an eliminator against Richard Comey or Javier Fortuna. Either way, he's in a situation where in 2 fights he'll be fighting for a championship. Of course, his next fight will likely be an eliminator unless they order him to fight Robert Easter next. So he's in a very good situation. He's in a very good situation. Yeah, that's what it is. It's lumbar support. In fact, I'm just going to get a new chair. You know, see, a lot of people be thinking like when until they meet me, they be thinking I'm like short and shit. I'm fucking 6'2", damn near 6'3", depending, I guess. If I'm wearing like shoes or something, you know, so I'm a big dude. You know, so I need like a massive ass chair, especially if I'm gonna be sitting here all day, every day now. You know, I need like some shit where I can just sit here and just like I'm just like fucking sitting on like air or something. You know? So what are you guys doing today? I'm gonna go chill, start some dinner, start lunch, play some video games. No, I don't get to play enough video games. You know, I've had a productive couple of days. I had a productive couple of days. You know, put out some videos. How much of a chance did Luke Campbell have? You know what? I would like to see Luke Campbell fight Yvonne Mindy again, but I can understand the politics. I give Luke Campbell a chance. I do give him a chance. Jorge Linares is good, though. Jorge Linares is good, though. Easter's the weakest champion in the whole 135-pound division. I mean, you can say that, but he's been in some exciting. His last 3 fights have been exciting, and you know he's overcome the odds, or not overcome the odds as far as he was losing the fights. But yo, you know, he can fight, and now he's in a situation where he's going to be in another tough fight. If they order Ray Beltran to be his mandatory, no, actually, no. Shifikov was his mandatory, so he gets a voluntary next, correct? He gets a voluntary next, correct? You know, so, and looking at the 135-pound division IBF rankings, there's really not too much there. You know, Easter stops Linares. Off of an accumulation of punches, Jorge Linares has gotten a lot better since his loss to Antonio DeMarco. Also, who did he lose to after that? And I saw the fight. So he's known to have some issues, you know, with accumulation of punches, or, you know, he can take some tough shots. But no, I don't think he stops Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares is a sharp boxer. The dude is sharp. I'm gonna play some Battlefield 4. I'm a sniper. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Battlefield 4. I'm a sniper. I play Battlefield 4, UFC. I got a lot of games. I just don't play them. I got a PlayStation 4 that's been packed up for months. Believe that, right? It's just been packed up. So I just use my Xbox because it's like the media servers. Long story. I'm not talking about that shit. We got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left. Oh man. Let me see what the schedule is for the next fights we're going to be covering. Let me go look at the schedule real quick. So let me look at what fights are coming on this week that you should look forward to. Well, what's next weekend's date? Next weekend is the 12th. Oh, shit. Ain't no boxing next week or this week. Crawford's the week after. It's Crawford, Indongo, Alexander Grosdick versus Craig Baker, Shakira Stevenson, David Piaz. Oh, that's a big-ass card. Remember, you got Terrence Crawford and Indongo, Alexander Grosdick on that card, Shakira Stevenson, Mike Alvarado, Brian Jennings, Dylan White, Nicholas Walters, Mike and D. Reed. That card is crazy. That card is crazy. Samuel Vargas fight. I got to do a video on that. Yeah, yo, listen. Starting on the 18th, we on a nice run of boxing. A nice ass run of boxing. Every week, all the way up until we're going to have major boxing every week. So far, all the way up until December. So that's what's up. So we get this week off, and then basically the fall winter lineup starts. And these are just fights that have been finalized, not fights that are, shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. Broner versus Ortiz, that'll be a career match. That'll be a career match. T Street, I was wondering what register a belt as a major belt. Like, isn't an IBO considered a major title? No, the IBO is not considered a major title anymore. They used to be all the way up until about maybe like the mid-2000s or so, and it was already kind of questionable then. Just like the WBO is considered a major title now, even though it wasn't, really about 15 years ago. But in this day and age, whether you like the WBO or not, in this day and age, to be undisputed, in this era, you have to have the WBC. You have to have the WBA. You have to have the IBF, and you have to have the WBO. If you have the IBF, they're like, oh, okay. If you have the Ring, it's like, wow, you're super undisputed. But the Ring is owned by Golden Boy Promotions now, and they've been having some, integrity issues on who they award the Ring magazine belt to. For example, it's like this. Why wasn't Thurman Garcia for the Ring magazine title? Perfect Fight should have been for the Ring magazine title. A lot of Heyman fighters don't fight for the Ring magazine title. Is Adonis Stevenson still the Ring magazine champion? And why was Canelo still the Ring magazine champion, even though he vacated, the 160-pound WBC title and fought at 154, but yet he's still the Ring magazine champion? Owned by Golden Boy. Golden Boy's not going to strip him. Is AB ducking T Street? Well, no, he fucked the fight up. He lost, so he fucked the money up. People not asking about Broner T Street no more ever since he lost. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So maybe, we can explore it and get in the future, but Broner T Street is dead. Broner T Street is dead. And the people wanted it. Everywhere I go, people was asking about it. The people. You was asking about it. Shanna Briggs Shanna Briggs has admitted to taking PEDs, He's officially out the mix at heavyweight. Officially out the mix. You know, let's go, chant. Let's go. Get some PEDs. What fights can Crawford get at welter? That's a very good question, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. So what I'm going to do is the next 2 videos I'm going to put out today is I'm going to put out one on Pacquiao Horn, and then one on Usyk versus Alexander Huck. And then, you know, I have to do some things behind the scenes, edit some videos, upload it, and we are back. You know, on T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media right down below in the description box. Also, we may do a stream tomorrow around this time.